about dolphins in general, but when you get down to the species, Pacific white-sided dolphins remain to be very mysterious animals. However, with the help of Helen and Hannah, researchers at the Vancouver Aquarium are trying to discover more about them. This opportunity is unique. You're not going to find them commonly in facilities, but you can recognize this dolphin by a couple of different traits, one of which is their bodies. They're torpedo-shaped. You can notice that as they rise out of the water, but you may also notice that they have a distinct color pattern of black, gray, and white down their sides. So look for that throughout the entire program. Another characteristic about these dolphins is that they are considered to be one of the most acrobatic species in the entire world. And I don't think you're going to argue with Helen's leap on that one. And where can you find them? Their name suggests it all. It's right here in the North Pacific Ocean. That range begins down in northern Mexico, all the way to the coast of North America to Alaska and the Aleutian Islands. They're found in pretty chilly waters, and even as far over as the coastal water structure. It's a pretty big environment. There's a lot of other animals out there, and the dolphins face a lot of the same dangers. In fact, both of these dolphins come from first-hand experiences with some of these threats. So to give us a better insight into that, we're going to throw it down to Charlotte. As a dolphin trainer working so closely with these animals, can you share with us their amazing story of survival?
I sure can, Jen. Both of our dolphins are what we refer to as rescued and rehabilitated animals. They were both found entangled in fishing nets off the coast of Japan and brought to a rehabilitation facility where they were deemed non-releasable. Luckily, we've been able to provide them with a permanent home here in the wild coast. Working with me today is Hannah. Hannah has been here since 2005, and we've been able to build and maintain a very strong relationship with her in order to provide her with the best possible care through training and regular checkups. Everything that we learn through Hannah's healthcare is used to help researchers and veterinarians to gain a better understanding of these mysterious dolphins. In fact, every day that we spend with Helen and Hannah reveals more information about their species as well as their individual personalities, which, believe it or not, are just as different as you and I. Isn't that right, girls? But most of all, Helen and Hannah remind us every day that nets can pose a serious threat to dolphins all over the world.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Charlotte. Together with researchers, we're trying to better understand these dangers that Pacific white-sided dolphins face, and then maybe we can come up with better ways of protecting them from them. But it is a huge endeavor, and we need to start at the beginning to do that, so we have to go over the information we already know. One thing for sure is you'll rarely see them traveling alone. They travel in groups. So maybe that is 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. But they could be even spotted traveling not only in the hundreds, but also in the thousands. It's been seen right here along British Columbia's own coastline. But if that doesn't captivate you, maybe this will. It's something that personally gets me every single time, and the underwater viewing area has seen a lot of that throughout the entire show. Their speed. So keep your eyes open. You may miss Helen as she races around this habitat, and she can blink. These dolphins can reach upwards of 35 kilometers per hour, or 22 miles per hour. It's faster than speeding here at Stanley Park. But, it's useful if they need to escape their predators. But I'm sure dolphins would agree that this is very handy when it comes to catching prey. Speaking of prey, what is it that dolphins eat? You got it, right? Like what she said, fish. So imagine now you're a dolphin and you have to hunt for your fish off our coast. Well, our waters are teeming with a diversity of life. There's literally hundreds of species of fish out there for you to go after. But the thing is, it's going to try to get away from you, so you're going to have to continue to go on after it, and then the pursuit continues on. It just sounds so exhausting to chase after your food. How much energy could that really take? Well, that begs the question, how much? And we asked that through one of the research projects that both of our dolphins had been involved in for over a year. We were trying to figure out how much energy it takes a dolphin to literally be a dolphin. Well, when we think of dolphins' energy, we usually think of them using quite a bit of it, don't we? Maybe racing around our waters, leaping out of the air, something that requires lots of it. Well, to know how much energy it takes our dolphins to do these kinds of things, like Helen did there, we need to start with what's called their metabolic rate. That's basically how a dolphin's body takes the calories it gets from its food and then converts it into energy to be used. To measure this metabolic rate, we had to ask the dolphins to do something you might find a little odd. We asked them to stay still. Perfect. It was just like that, because we were able to design a dome, a metabolic chamber, to float right there on the top of the water. As the dolphin would stay inside, they would breathe oxygen. We'd measure how much, to know exactly how much energy they were using right at that moment. Of course, eventually, we hope to use that information to apply it to those things that we know dolphins so well for. Their energetics, those acrobatics. And then, of course, because their food is directly related to their energy, we could figure out how much energy these dolphins need on a daily basis to survive. And this research has revealed it's upwards of 15,000 calories a day. So that's pretty incredible. Now, of course, we're very lucky to work so closely with Helen and Hannah, not just because they're beautiful animals, but because they are providing us this opportunity to do research that we simply can't do for dolphins out in the ocean. Well, it may not surprise you to know that dolphins are acrobatic, or energetic, or playful, because we see a lot of that above and below the surface of the water right here. But it can baffle scientists just the amount of time and sheer energy these dolphins will spend playing out in the oceans. But again, we see it here, so we're really not surprised. In fact, you may have seen this already yourselves. Has anyone seen dolphins frolicking about our oceans? Maybe locally? Quite set of dolphins? Great, I see some hands going up. Fantastic. Each and every year, they're becoming more and more commonly spotted. So your chances of seeing them do this is very great going on across the Vancouver Island. Even a couple weeks ago, they were spotted at Telegraph Cove at the north end of Vancouver Island. If you see them, they may be showcasing these acrobatics, not just with dolphins, but alongside seals and sea lions. So all this playing, scientists believe, it is an essential part of being a dolphin. Yet we know it's costly, because the more you play, that means you're using more energy, and then you need more food. And to remind me, what is it that dolphins eat? Yes, you got it. Well, they're not the only ones looking for fish. There's a lot of other animals out there, and that includes people. When it comes to people, we're a little too good at getting our fish. The number one threat to facing oceans worldwide is overfishing. However, we don't really know how overfishing affects these dolphins and their prey. That is another mystery we are trying to solve here at the Vancouver Aquarium. As great mysteries go, the more things we do find out, we still have a lot of unanswered questions arising. Therefore, the biggest question we are dedicated to answering is how can we help Pacific white-sided dolphins? We've seen from our own dolphins' experiences that nets can pose serious risks to them, as well as other animals around the world, like sharks, turtles, and sea lions, because none of them are the targets of the fishing nets. But fish, and hopefully through the kind of research that we get to do here, we can ensure that those nets don't further threaten dolphins through things like overfishing. As individuals, we can do something as well. We can choose sustainable seafood options to ensure that overfishing does not continue to threaten Pacific white-sided dolphins. Anyone here like seafood? I'm talking to the right crowd. Okay, don't worry, you can put your hands up, because we serve it here at the cafe, and our dolphins love it too. We want to make sure there's enough to go around for everyone. And since we do our research, we share it with you. It's Oceanwise. That program that started right here is across Canada. So look around this habitat. You'll notice that fish on a dinner plate symbol. It's at markets and restaurants to bring you sustainable seafood options without you having to do the research yourself. And when you make those choices, you can rest assured you're helping protect dolphins just like these. So although we may find Pacific white-sided dolphins to be a very mysterious animal, we have a lot of help to protect these wonderful creatures. We have our trainers, our researchers, Helen and Hannah, and also all of you. By even visiting today, you've supported our conservation and research efforts so that dolphins like these thrive along our coast for many years to come. On behalf of myself, our trainers, Christy and Charlotte, and of course Helen and Hannah, we want to thank you for watching our show today and have an excellent rest of the Vancouver Aquarium. My name is Jen. If you do have questions for us, feel free to meet us here at the side of the habitat. We'll do our best to answer them for you. That was the last Dolphin Show. Thanks so much for coming out. But if you want more, and more programming outside in the rain,